Whatever you do, don't go swimming in any of these places. It could cost you your life. Here are the 10 worst places to swim. Number 10. Hanakapiai Beach, Hawaii. Hanakapiai Beach on the Nepali coast of Hawaii is the most dangerous beach in Hawaii and is one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. The beach can only be reached via an arduous 2-mile hike, and despite the dangers of this treacherous beach, people still go to Hanakapiai to swim. The waters don't seem that treacherous at first glance, but the beach is famous for its high surfs and violent riptides. There is no road access to this beach, and there are no lifeguards on duty. Swimming at Hanakapiai Beach comes with a high risk. 83 people have drowned at this beach since 2008. Number 9. The Boiling Lake, Dominica. The Boiling Lake in Morne Tropita National Park in Dominica is aptly named. The waters of this lake are literally boiling hot. In fact, the Boiling Lake is the hottest lake in the world. Temperatures along the edges of this lake have been recorded to reach 197 degrees Fahrenheit. The lake is so hot that no one has ever been able to record the temperature at the middle of the lake because the scalding water prevents scientists from reaching the center. The lake is surrounded by ominous steam, and should anyone attempt to swim in the burning hot waters of the Boiling Lake, they will inevitably encounter severe burns. Number 8. New Smyrna, Florida. The state of Florida is known for its gorgeous white sandy beaches, and New Smyrna is no exception. However, swimmers beware, as New Smyrna holds the Guinness World Record for the shark attack capital of the world. The waters of the New Smyrna beach are home to 3 different types of sharks: the black tip shark, the spinner shark, and the tiger shark. The giant surfs of New Smyrna Beach, though, limit the visibility of the sharks, so the sharks are known to simply bite at any splashing noise they hear or see. As a result, there have been an astonishing 238 recorded shark attacks on this beach. In 2008 alone, 24 people were bitten by sharks at New Smyrna Beach. Amazingly enough, however, none of these attacks has ever led to a fatality. But still, these shark-infested waters are a dangerous and risky place to swim. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Daily Top 10s with notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos. Number 7. Lake Karachay, Russia. Lake Karachay in Russia is full of pollution. The lake was used in the 1950s as a dumping ground for radioactive waste. As such, the lake is highly contaminated. In fact, a dip in this lake is so dangerous that anyone who steps foot into its waters will receive a lethal dose of radiation poisoning within an hour. Lake Karachay is so toxic, it's often referred to as the most polluted place on Earth. Measures are being taken, though, to reduce access to this lake. The lake is slowly being filled with concrete and soil in efforts to seal up the lake so that no one can accidentally swim in this radioactive, overpolluted, highly toxic lake. Number 6. Lake Hillier, Australia. Lake Hillier is a unique and astonishing lake. Its waters are bright pink. As such, Lake Hillier, which is located in Western Australia, is pretty popular. The lake is 1,950 feet long, and it sits right next to the ocean. The azure blue waters of the ocean work to heighten the unusual pink hue of this lake, and tourists come to see and take photos of this popular pink lake. The color of the lake actually comes from the algae. The lake has a very high concentration of salt and receives very little rainwater. This affects the algae at the bottom of the lake, causing the algae to produce a red pigment. It's this red pigment that gives the lake its unusual color. And while tourists surely contemplate taking a dip in the lovely pink waters, Lake Hillier is not a swimming lake. Swimming in Lake Hillier is not recommended. The lake is a cesspool of bacteria. Anyone who tries to take a swim in the lake risks bacteria infection and could consequently become very ill. Number 5. Cape Tribulation, Australia. In northern Queensland, Australia, the beaches of Cape Tribulation hold a lot more than beautiful swimming waters. Anyone who chooses to swim at Cape Tribulation needs to be aware of the significant number of dangers that live in these waters. From November to May, venomous jellyfish swarm the waters. Both the deadly boxfish jellyfish and the irukandji jellyfish pose a significant threat to swimmers. The irukandji jellyfish are very tiny and hard to see. They are often under half an inch diameter, but their venom is fatal. The box jellyfish, although much larger, are equally as fatal, and they are also very hard to see due to their translucent appearance. The beach is surrounded with cautionary marine stinger warning signs, and it is highly recommended that anyone who chooses to swim in these waters wear a stinger suit to help mitigate the risk of being stung. Number 4. The Blue Hole at Dahab. The Blue Hole at Dahab continues to attract cave divers and explorers from all over the world, despite its dangerous nature. The Blue Hole, which is off the coast of Egypt in the Red Sea, is the opening to a famous 85-foot-long tunnel called the Arch. This tunnel connects the Blue Hole to the open waters of the sea, and divers enter the Blue Hole to find this tunnel. However, the tunnel is very hard to find. Many divers have missed the opening of the tunnel and descended too far down into the water. And because they are too far down, they experience nitrogen narcosis and are unable to find their way back up to the top. The Blue Hole at Dahab is not for recreational divers, although that is exactly the type of diver the hole attracts. As such, the Blue Hole has been called the deadliest dive site in the world. It has claimed the lives of more than 200 people. Number 3. Shark Alley, Hansby, South Africa. Shark Alley in Hansby, South Africa is home to the largest population of great white sharks in the world. Shark Alley is a channel between the islands of Dyer and Geyser Rock. Every year, 60,000 Cape Fur seals swim to the area, which attracts the sharks who come to hunt the seals. Because of the high concentration of great white sharks, Shark Alley is a popular cage diving area. Scientists, marine biologists, and shark enthusiasts descend into the shark-infested waters, enclosed in thick cages. These cages allows them to safely view and study the sharks. However, free diving or swimming without the protection of a cage is not permitted at Shark Alley. Given the number of great whites, the risk of a great white attack is just way too high. Number 2. The Amazon Basin. The Amazon Basin weaves across the continent of South America. In fact, it stretches across 40% of the continent, flowing through Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Peru, and Venezuela. And while the basin is home to a number of dangerous wildlife, including eels, piranhas, alligators, and anacondas, those animals aren't the most prevalent threat of the basin. The Amazon Basin is one of the worst places in the world to swim because it is home to the kangaroo. The kangaroo is a freshwater parasitic catfish. It is also known as the toothpick fish or the vampire fish, and it invades the human body by working its way into any open hole. The kangaroo is almost impossible to see as it's very translucent. But once inside your body, it extends barbs into your flesh and feeds off your blood. It is an extremely painful experience, and it often leads to death from shock. The fatal kangaroo can be removed, but the surgery is lengthy and risky. The kangaroo is actually one of the most deadly creatures in the world, and since it lives primarily in the Amazon Basin, swimming there is strongly discouraged. Number 1. Lake Victoria, Africa. Lake Victoria is an expansive lake covering 44,000 square miles. It is not only the largest lake in Africa, it is the world's largest tropical lake and the second largest freshwater lake on the planet. Lake Victoria is home to over 80 islands, and millions of people rely on Lake Victoria to provide them with natural resources. But along with the natural resources the lake provides, Lake Victoria is also a death trap. Lake Victoria has claimed the lives of more people annually than any other lake in the world. Lake Victoria's weather conditions are highly erratic, and storms can whip through the waters with little warning. Sudden rain and massive waves can come out of nowhere, endangering the lives of fishermen and swimmers alike. Lake Victoria has more fatalities per square mile than any other body of water in the world, and Lake Victoria sees an average of 5,000 deaths a year. Lake Victoria has been called the most dangerous place to swim on the planet, which is why this perilous lake is ranked number 1 on this list of the 10 worst places to swim. Check out our previous videos on the top 10 totally useless maps and the top 10 incredible Comic-Con costumes. And remember to subscribe to Daily Top 10s with notifications on so you don't miss any of our videos.